PWCC is a great way to sell your sports cards. If you're looking for a way to support the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel, consider using the promo code Cajun, all caps, C-A-J-U-N, when you're selling your cards on the PWCC marketplace. Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana, and we're finally getting to the juicy stuff. It's 1992. It's my senior year in high school. I can't believe how long ago this was. 31 years ago, my senior year in high school. The dream team was just starting to take shape. Luckily, they excluded and excommunicated and froze out Isaiah, and the dream team was almost perfect. If only they could have gotten rid of Christian Laettner and replaced him with Shaquille O'Neal. But beggars can't be choosers. The Dream Team was one of the greatest teams ever assembled, if not the greatest team ever assembled. And 1992, the NBA was in high gear and everything was clicking. Jordan was at the peak of his powers. And here we are today doing another episode of Best of the Best, where I give you my 5 favorite cards aesthetically, right? I'm not talking about the most valuable, but the cards that I like the most in order. I've got 2 honorable mentions in no particular order, and then I go 3, 2, 1 in order. And so this is getting really tough. It's like choosing between which of your children is your favorite. There's some incredible cards that had to be left out. Team Leaders is one of the cards that I had to leave out, which I've recently picked up in a PSA 10 slab. It did not make my list of 5 because remember, this is more just about what the cards look like and what they mean to me and just the feel and just the vibe. And so you guys are probably watching the Michael Jordan Hierarchy Project concurrently with these Best of the Best episodes come out every Friday. These are not nearly as in-depth. I am not the expert that at Northeast Sports Cards Josh Dawson is. This is just my perception of 5 of the best cards year by year. We started in 84 and we're working our way all the way up through the year, I think 1998, for these Best of the Best episodes. You'll see these every single Friday at I think 4 p.m. or 6 p.m. I can't even remember. I've got too much going on, I'll be quite honest with you. Enough. If you like these episodes and you want to see more of these episodes, do me a favor, consider supporting the channel. Click the YouTube description. There's 4 ways you can support my channel. 3 of them don't cost you a penny out of pocket. 1 of them does. Pick and choose. It's your buffet. Thank you so much for all of the people that have contributed so generously to the channel, whether it's through the use of the PWCC affiliate link with Cajun Cardboard channel, or whether it's the Cajun promo code, all caps, C-A-J-U-N, with PWCC buying homage t-shirts, right, to support the Cajun Cardboard channel, or just through simply clicking the PayPal donation link because you don't want to see a bunch of goofy ads in the middle of these videos where we talk about some of the great basketball cards out there. I know it's been Jordan-centric lately. I know it's been a heavy emphasis on Jordan. Bear with me. Let's get through August, and then I'm going to return the channel to the general public. The non-Jordan people are going to be able to take a sigh of relief and say, finally, something besides Michael Jordan. And I know some of the Jordan collectors are going to be like, the hell with that. Let's keep talking about Jordan for the rest of 2023. But it'll be a nice blend. It'll be a nice mix, and we'll get the channel back to where it is. Anyway, here we go. 1992. Card number 1. Honorable mention, and this was a tough exclusion from my top 3 because the picture is epic and iconic. Jordan vaulting off the great Patrick Ewing, the Hoya Destroyer, really just treating them like subordinates. That's really what the Bulls did to the Knicks when they tried to bully Jordan. You've got the great Mark Jackson in the background, top 5 all-time assist leader, and John Paxson looking onward. And then Jordan seems to have just snuck up on Ewing when he was completely unprepared to defend. He's not even facing Jordan, and he knows what's coming. Nothing good is going to happen here. I don't think Jordan yams this, but nothing good is going to result from this. Of course, you're looking at the members only parallel right here, and you can tell because there's this gold members only stamp up here in the top left corner. So that members only is makes it a little bit more rare than the typical. And I've got it pulled up. Here's the members only PSA 10. It is only a pop 169, and you can see even over the last year when a lot of cards have subsided and the hobby is trying to find the floor, this card's up 77% from a low of $225 $75 to a high of all the way almost 1 penny shy of $1,000 back here to 3 days before Christmas of 2022. The card seems to have settled somewhere in the $500 to $700 range. It's just kind of undulating back and forth, so that's where the members only is. The regular Beam Team, the regular 1992 Stadium Club, this is his true base Stadium Club card. First year Stadium Club is a pop 631, so a little bit higher pop, and this card's actually down 24% over the past year, although it looks to me over the past 6 months, yeah, that's what I thought. It's up 32% over the past 6 months as well, with a low of 175 all the way to a high of $550, which seems a little bit extreme to me. So that's card number 1 on our list. Card number 2 on our list is going to hit you out of nowhere like a left hook. We are talking about this card right here, and there are actually 2 variations of this card. Again, not the biggest cards. That's not what this is about. This is not about, hey, look at me, wait till you see how awesome these cards are. It's about how unique these cards are and how aesthetically impressive these cards are. And this is a card where I had to look at it 5 or 6 times before I noticed a couple of things. Number one, it says in your face on the left, and I was a humongous trash talker when I played basketball. I know that's hard to believe because you guys know me. I don't really like to talk. I don't talk that much. I don't talk quickly. I don't feel the need to run my mouth. No, obviously you could tell I used to talk a hellacious amount of shit when I played basketball, and somehow I kept my face intact. I've only been punched in the face 1 time, and it's actually in a pickup game by a good friend of mine. There's a great story, and it ended very well for me. Let's just say my friend was outnumbered. I had more friends there than he did, and I got the last laugh with the game point winner as well. But I'm digressing. This is just an incredible card. It is the 1992 Upper Deck card number 453. This is what the back looks like, but I want to talk primarily about the front. The thing that makes this card so cool is it looks like there's a basketball smashing through the card's glass, and the basketball is smashing through. I think Jordan's wearing the 2s. He's doing that reverse cradle, but the one hand where he comes on the other side, he's mid-flight. His face is as intense and ferocious as you can get. He was the 2-time dunk champion in 97, 98. But here's the cool thing about this card. There's an error card, okay? So you guys know, if you collected in the 80s and you're old as dirt like I am, that we used to chase those error cards, right? There was a Craig Nettles, Greg Nettles. There was a Dale Murphy reverse negative. There was a Juan Gonzalez reverse negative. There was a John Littlefield error, whoever the hell that is, some porn star from the 70s. But here's a picture of card number 453. This is the card that I have, right? And there's been, 44,000 something graded. This is not a rare card. It is not a valuable card. There's 631 PSA 10s, so a card you guys can go out and get while you're watching the video or shortly after if you really wanted to. But there's an error version right here where they list Michael Jordan as the slam dunk champ in both 1985 and 1990. That is not correct, and there are only 112 of those, and apparently Upper Deck caught it and then slowed production on them. Again, that's my assumption. I am not an expert on error cards, and I'm not an expert on this card. I just like the way the damn thing looked. But there's about 600 of these graded, so significantly fewer, about 1/6 as many of the error version as there are the correct version right here. But you see up here in this top right, it says 1987, 88, 2-time champion, and then the ball smashing through the glass just makes this card special. Those are my 2 honorable mention cards, right? The Jordan vaulting over Ewing Stadium Club card number 1, and this 1992 Upper Deck number 453. The number 3 card on my list is the 1992 Fleer Total D. Not a rare card either. Difficult card to pull. I think it came from Cello packs. I don't have the pack odds in front of me because that's not really what this is about. But something about this card, just the way it's black and white in the background. This is the first of many Jordan cards where they black and white the background out, and then he's in the foreground in vibrant red color. And this is another one. Of course, the letter D behind him for defense is also in color. And it's just a great looking card of Jordan. Honestly, his hands are out almost like they are on that Sticky Fingers card, right, from Season's Best. From Tops and Tops Chrome. And his hands were absolutely enormous, just special, and allowed him to do things with the ball that nobody else could do, and allowed him to steal the ball more than probably anybody else. But this is just a picture of Jordan. It's a 92 Fleer Total D. It's as 80s as a 90s card can look, right? It's got 4 equidistant borders. They're all black on the front. The back is gray, so not quite as much much of an issue grading the back, and mine is a pretty clean, damn clean copy. The front is where the issue is because of the chipping and the corners and the edges, and it's just very difficult to grade. So this is card number 3 on my list. I've got this bad boy pulled up right here in Card Ladder. As I mentioned, not a rare card. As you can see, over 1,300 have been graded, but look how many gems there are for PSA. 29 PSA gems, 7,886 Card Ladder value. The last one sold for $7,920. And again, as we've talked about over the last 2 years, when a lot of cards are fun on the floor and we're kind of figuring out just how much people really think these cards are worth in a tight economy, this card's up 44%. So from a low of 4,600 to a high of about 9,600. This is a whale of a card in a PSA 10 slab. And the team leader is another one that's very similar pop, 48, only 19 more of those. Same thing, about a $7,000 card. Same thing over the last 2 years, up 27% with a low of 3,000. So I did not include this team leader card in there. It easily could have been included in there, but I chose not to. I went with the Fleer Total D. It was a tough decision, and I only have 2 spots left, and Total D and Fleer Team Leader both came up short because the next card on our list is, and I'm sure you guys knew this was coming, it is the 1992 Beam Team, okay? And so I am blessed enough to have the 1992 Stadium Club Beam Team PSA 10. I am also in possession of the 1992 Stadium Club Beam Team PSA 10 members only copy. And so we'll look at both of these in Card Ladder. One of Jordan's earliest and most unique with that velocity pattern and the borders that has been confiscated and now used by Donruss Optic or whoever the hell else is doing whatever in the hobby. I think it's Donruss Optic that's using the velocity pattern. But this Beam Team was pretty special. There's a couple of years of Beam Team. There's 3 years actually of Jordan Beam Teams, 92, 93, and 95. All of them have a story to tell. 92 is the OG. It's the original. Of course, Danny Ainge off of his right hip. Can't do anything about it. The members only, you're looking at it and you're like, why is this a members only? And we've kind of walked through this on the Michael Jordan Hierarchy Project, and Josh Dawson had to educate me. You're just not even going to be able to see it on a 2D image. You almost have to tilt the card. But just like on the 92 Stadium Club, let me see if I can go back and show you. Do you see this gold foil stamp right there that says members only? Now imagine this is embossed, and what that means is it's actually pressed into the card, but it's not gold foil. Imagine it's embossed in just right here. I'm trying to show you on my screen, right under the A of Beam Team. If you look really, really hard, you can kind of see it in a 2D image, but you almost have to have the card and tilt it to see where that members only symbol is. Going back to this card, here's the regular Beam Team PSA 10. It's about up 14% over the last 2 years. So again, every card we've looked at's been up over the last year or 2 years, which is pretty unique and really says something about the collectability of Michael Jordan in a declining market. And here's the members only over the last 2 years, really, really running. Members only, much more difficult to obtain, much fewer copies out there, many fewer PSA 10 copies of that card, up 39% over the last 2 years in a market where everything seems to be finding the floor. So Beam Team and Beam Team members only are my second card for 1992. And so you're probably wondering to yourself, if Beam Team's number 2, what the hell could be number 1? And remember, we're still in that early year Jordan inserts. I went obscure, man. I am a little bit off the beaten path with my card number 1 today. A lot of you guys might not even be familiar with it. I wasn't. I had to get educated on this card, and I'm still not quite there. And I only own a PSA 8 copy, but even that wasn't cheap. It's the 1992 Upper Deck MVP Holograms card number 4, and it's Michael Jordan, and it's again, it's not all MVPs of the league, it's MVPs of their respective NBA teams, and then there's a little bit more to the story. That's what the back of the card looks like. That's the front. Of course, there's the hologram version in the background, and it's just an awesome image of MJ going up and under and trying to scoop on the other side of the goal, quite likely. I've got Beckett pulled up so we can read this together and educate ourselves together. This is a 38 card standard size hologram set consisting of the Upper Deck selection of the MVP on each of the NBA's back then 27 teams, plus 9 future MVPs, focusing on players who could become their team's MVP in the near future. Spoiler alert, Pete Myers is not on here. Just 138,000, wow, only 138,000 Individually numbered sets were produced, and they were available only through hobby dealers. So you couldn't just go buy these at Target or Walmart or Kmart or wherever they were selling stuff back then, gas stations, grocery stores, and select retail outlets beginning in mid-May. The fronts display a color action cutout photo and a holographic inset photo set against a background of geometric shapes in gray, black, and the team's colors. On team color-coded panels with gray geometric shapes, the backs carry player profiles. Included in this set is a card that carries instructions for ordering a matching display album. So you could order a display album that goes with it. I've got it pulled up here in Trading Card Database, and you can see the Reggie Miller. And listen to some of the names. If this is not nostalgic, I don't know what is. Neek, Reggie Lewis, Larry Johnson. Reggie Lewis, rest in peace, gone too soon. Grandmama, Larry Johnson. Of course, MJ is card number 4 of the set. Freaking Mark Price, Derek Harper, Dikembe Mutombo, Isaiah Thomas, Chris Mullin, Hakeem Olajuwon, Reggie Miller, Danny Manning, because the Clippers didn't have anybody else worth a damn. Big Game James Worthy, which is interesting. Glenn Rice, Alvin Robertson, Chuck Person, Derek Coleman, Patrick Ewing, Scott Skiles, all-time single-game NBA assist leader with 30. Hersey Hawkins out of the great University of Bradley, Charles Barkley, Clyde Drexler, Mitch Richmond, David Robinson, Sean Kemp, Karl Malone, Purvis Ellison. Am I checking enough boxes? And here's where shit gets wild, because then they guessed at these other 9 dudes who could one day become the best player on their team. And it was a pretty massive swing and a miss. Lloyd Daniels, Todd Day, no. Tom Gugliotta, great player. Absolutely fantastic player. Robert Ory, journeyman, right place, right time, big shot Bob. Christian Laettner, Harold Miner, absolutely. Alonzo Mourning, they got that right. Shaquille O'Neal, I don't know. What do you think? You think Shaquille O'Neal ended up being the best player on his Magic team? Possibly, yeah. And then Walt the Wizard Williams out of the University of Maryland. Let's just take a look at the Shaq card. How cool is that Shaq card right there? Anyway, that's the set, guys, and that's the card. And that's my number 1 right there. And I need that card in a PSA 10. I do not own the card in a PSA 10. That's not what this video is about, to show you my best cards or the most valuable cards or the hardest to get cards. It's just the cards that I personally like the look of the most for each year chronologically for Jordan, from 84 all the way through 1998. So as always, hopefully you guys are enjoying these best of the best videos. They're like mini versions of multiple card, explore the card episodes, where we don't go into too much detail. It's not a deep dive, it's just a little shallow dive, but we look at a bunch of different cards year by year, and we kind of encapsulate them and look at them together in a little microcosm for that particular year. And it's going to get harder and harder every year. This was the first really tough year where there was some tough exclusions. The 92 Fleer team leader was just tough to leave out. 93, it's going to get that much harder. I've got a couple in mind that I think are going to be in my top 5 favorites, but again, we're going to have to leave a couple out in 93 as well. And then 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, that's where it just gets impossible, and it's going to cause anxiety, but it's going to be fun to talk about and fun to look at pictures of some other great Jordan cards. So thank you guys for watching these best of the best videos every Friday afternoon. I hope they're a great way to start your weekend. I hope you have a great weekend in and out of the hobby. If you're going to a card show, travel safe and have fun. And if you're not going to a card show, jump on eBay. Let's buy some cards together. It doesn't have to be Jordan. It could be Rick Smits. It could be the Dunking Dutchman. It could be Jerome Kersey, a big bruising power forward from the 90s. It could be the aforementioned Walt the Wizard Williams. It could be Mitch Richmond. It could be anybody from the 90s. You know what? You could also buy ultra modern cards like most of the world, but that's not as sexy or as fun, as nostalgic to talk about. But thank you guys for watching. As always, keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, and peace.